When people ask me why I've left advertising, I haven't left advertising. I just don't work in a conventional advertising agency anymore. The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again, and I began to feel that there were more interesting ways into getting into content production and really building partnerships with brands and helping brands expand themselves than working in an ad agency. And certainly one of the most interesting ways is actually to be a brand yourself and then work out how you're going to market yourself. The exciting thing about Hammer for me is, yes, it's a movie business and it's got a fantastic heritage as being a movie business, but it's also a very powerful brand which I think transcends any medium. And so you know, it was a natural for us to do immersive, because immersive is a growth area. It's much easier actually to put on an immersive production than it is to make a movie. So it's easier for us to develop and test IP through immersive than it is through developing a movie. Production is always about getting a great bunch of talented people together and pulling it together to create something which is greater than the sum of the parts, you know, and I think that's what we're really doing here. It's a very, very disparate group of people, different skill sets, pulling it all together and creating something that's fantastic is really what shooting commercials is about at one end of the scale, or creating movies is about, and it's the same set of principles for immersive.
This is Hammer House of Horror Live, the Soulless Ones. It's a show about a hive of vampires who are looking to perform a ritual that will let them walk in the daylight.
First started talking to Hammer about this, I think, last December, and their project was greenlit in February or March. So we have 14 performers in the show. We have a brilliant art department, stage management, and the lighting design team, and the sound design team. It's a beast of an operation.
Have you ever spent the night in an empty theatre?
So at the beginning of the evening, we arrive in what feels like a totally normal, real-world, human Victorian music hall. And then over the course of the following 2 hours, we find that all is not quite as it seems. As well as the action that happens in the theatre itself, we invite our audience to explore the building. And I don't want to give away too much, but there are a whole host of rooms, some of them relevant to our theatre world, like this dressing room, some of them slightly more surreal. Creating an immersive show invites, we hope, a whole new raft of younger audiences into the sort of Hammer universe.
I think for the younger generation, it's a discovery brand, because there's an incredible wealth of content and imagery and fabulous history to be discovered. So, you know, for us, really, it's about unlocking this brand for a new generation. I see Hammer massively as being a partnership brand. You know, we recognise we can't do it all ourselves. What we can do is develop brilliant, I think, mass market horror IP. What we're looking for is partners who want to then help us expand that through their particular specialist channels. So VR is obviously a natural for us. Gaming is a natural for us, movies, tried and trusted, but we're going to continue to do movies, TV. We've just made a partnership with Jägermeister. Obviously, if you're going to run an immersive show of this kind, you need a good bar, right? And Jägermeister certainly know how to create a great experience around a bar. So actually we're working with them and the same people who do the bar for Secret Cinema, which is, you know, we've looked very carefully at the way they operate, and Jägermeister is the ideal partner, frankly, because they embrace the dark in the same way as we do.